When you see a pickup truck, you automatically think of beer, America, and hardworking men. Like any other car enthusiast, truck owners love their babies and love showing them off. There's a certain level of respect you claim when you own a huge truck, no matter what any tree hugger has to say about it. You own the road. You're bigger and badder than anyone you pass. And when you see another pickup on par with your own, it's almost like a brotherhood being formed in a split second. Truck owners take great pride in their rides. These vehicles often require upgrades that your Prius or Ultima may not, such as beefed up suspensions, bigger exhaust systems, and larger tires. But how many times have you seen pickup owners making fun of racers with their big rims and exhaust tips, only to climb into a ridiculously lifted pickup with ugly post-apocalyptic wheels, blacked out grille guards, and even bigger chrome exhaust stacks running vertical throughout the bed? Yeah, there's just a little bit of hypocrisy going on there. Still, people can and do go overboard with their truck modifications, and turn their beautiful hardworking pickups into ugly showgirls that couldn't carry a full load of hay or haul a trailer if it even tried. So here are the 9 worst truck mods only a truck racer would love. Chrome wraps. Chrome wraps are the root of all evil car mods. We're convinced of it, not because chrome in and of itself is a bad thing. We like chrome on our vehicles. It could be classy, but when it comes to their trucks, some guys tend to get a little bit crazy. Chrome is the fool's gold of the car modding industry, and everybody knows it, and everyone keeps looking for more and more and more. But in reality, you don't need that much chrome. Make it a tasteful mod, not a nightmare. This thing is an over-the-top case in point. Spoilers. There's definitely a time and a place for spoilers, and we applaud cool and epic looking spoilers as much as the next guy, particularly when they hit both the proper aesthetic note, i.e. not crazy huge, and also do what they're actually supposed to do, that is reduce drag and increase both performance and fuel efficiency. But spoilers should be left to sports cars and the occasional sedan that can get away with such a look. They most certainly aren't supposed to be sitting bolted on the back of some dude's truck. Here's a pro tip, guys. Just because your Tacoma or any other pickup truck says sport doesn't mean that it's sporty and should have a spoiler, particularly when said spoiler is slammed down on top of the truck bed over on your truck. That's just silly. Scissor doors. Scissor doors, or gull-wing doors, have long been a classic mod for lots and lots of different cars. Hell, ever since John DeLorean began the trend, before he went on an endless coke binge and lost his company, all of his money, and his freedom. There have been tons of high-end and even some middle-end models of cars that have gone this route. Lamborghini makes a gull-wing door look great. Tesla has designed some cool improvements to the genre. Even Volkswagen jumped on it a few years back with their concept car, Dune Buggy. But, and this is a huge but, any dude who puts scissor doors on his pickup truck has completely lost it. And that's not a cool mod look, it's total insanity. Trucks that are too low. Okay, now this is just getting ridiculous. It can't possibly be true, right? Nobody would ever do something like this to a Chevy Silverado or any other pickup truck for that matter, right? Wrong. This is just one very small example of the whole modding subculture of trucks. A truck should be off the ground, not scraping it. Trucks are for getting in, on, and around difficult places, not for falling apart the first time they hit a speed bump or a pothole. Can you imagine the fallout if this thing ever hit a bump? There's just no rational explanation for it, and we don't want to hear the irrational ones. Hydraulics. How insane are hydraulics on a truck? We're looking at a true red-blooded truck here, not some crazy kind of car show novelty. Actually, to me, this is a useless novelty. I mean, I totally get the whole hydraulics movement. There were some awesomely creative cars out there, and it's definitely a really fun way to try to outdo your rivals. But should we be putting hydraulics on pickup trucks? We think not. It's just too weird of a look for a truck, and it takes away from all the qualities that actually make it a truck. I suppose because it's so out there that I could possibly give this mod a pass, but then we wouldn't be doing our job properly now, would we? No, hydraulics definitely need to stay in the realm of lowriders, not riding with the big boys. Rolling coal. For the love of God, please, please, please stop participating in one of the worst mods of all time on any vehicle ever. We don't even know where to begin. If you're into rolling coal, then here are all of the things that you're clearly not into. Number 1, your own truck, since you're going to ruin its appearance with this contraption. Number 2, your own wallet, since you're going to be spending a lot more money on gas. Number 3, your own reputation, since everyone who sees you in your truck with the scrap streaming away from you will hate you and consider you a fool and a tool. Insane lift kits. Everybody loves a good lift kit, don't they? I mean, what could possibly be more fun than lifting your plain old Ford pickup truck and hitting the dunes, trails, and mountains for a little bit of off-roading fun? Of course, there's a chance that you might go into slight overkill mode. After all, if you can get your truck lifted by a foot or two, why not 10 or 12 feet? It's the only logical progression, right? Well, maybe not, guys. How many truck owners actually go off-roading in these monsters? And how many just go completely brain dead and end up with a monstrosity that never leaves the suburban streets? Pillar gauges. Like I said before, pickup trucks aren't your normal racing vehicle, nor should they ever be, which is why our next ridiculous truck modding contender leaves me cold, even though lots of truck owners love to do it. Pillar gauges are for one thing and one thing only: actual race cars. They're not for slapping all over the interior of your truck to make it look like some kind of a race car. It's not, it's a truck. The best part is that these gauges don't even look like they do anything. Most of the time they're simply there for show, and that's just pretty dumb. Who wants to have a bunch of gauges and dials that don't actually do anything except look like they might tell you something someday that they'll never will? For guys who believe that their F-150 should be on a NASCAR track, I guess this modification will work for them. Then again, probably not. Vertical exhaust. I'll admit that I've seen this done rather tastefully on a few trucks. Sadly, most attempts by pickup truck owners to mimic this big rig styling these days falls woefully short in the cool factor. I don't care if you have a one-tone pickup with a mean turbo diesel engine. The 5-inch diameter chrome exhaust pipe that you have sticking up straight up through the bed looks just as dumb to everyone else as a 4-inch chrome exhaust tip on a compact car looks to you. And if you're running a gas-powered pickup with the mufflers cut off, here's a newsflash: it doesn't sound good. It looks like an exhaust system that somebody hacked up, and by that I mean that it sounds like warm vomit echoing in a steel drum. If you're gonna go with a custom exhaust, at least get some aggressive mufflers and run stylish pipes out the side of the cab. Otherwise, it just looks like you're hauling a smokestack in the back of your truck. Cheap cargo nets. This one's a particular pet peeve of ours in the truck world. The reason is that we understand it less than so many other mods that we talk about. Let us get this straight. You buy a new truck with a perfectly acceptable rear gate that latches shut and keeps everything in the bed of the truck without flying off the back of your ride. Then you take that perfectly good rear gate off and replace it with a cheap piece of netting that stretches too tight across the back until you're afraid it'll snap, and allow all the equipment in the bed to slide around and slam into the net until the net finally gives and you lose everything out the rear end, causing a terrible accident and the loss of all your stuff. Where do I sign up? Limo tint. I've said this before in other videos, and I'll say it again until somebody listens. Not only is limo tinting your vehicle a bit arrogant, but it's also a bit illegal in most places. But why is this such a big deal, you ask? Because limo tinting a windshield, any windshield, is a dangerous practice that can lead to accidents, particularly when somebody's sitting 10 feet off the ground in a monster 4x4. The term reduced visibility springs to mind. If you're already driving around town in a beast like a Ford pickup truck, the chances that you're going to see that mom in her Prius have already gone way down. Slap some limo tint across your windshield and those chances just plummet through the floor. Not to mention there's the whole "I'm more important than anybody else" vibe you get when you see tint like this rolling down the street. Racing tires. Racing tires on a truck are expensive, useless, and impractical. There will never be a lack of truck owners who think that slicks on their diesel will make it more powerful and more menacing. Racing tires are essential for pickups that actually live on the track, but for your everyday driver that only holds around 600 horsepower, they're really not necessary. On normal everyday roads, slick tires wear out incredibly fast and are incredibly expensive to replace, adding nothing but cosmetic effect. They just aren't worth the money and are completely impractical. Pair these with either huge or tiny rims and a lowering kit, and you have yourself a certified poser who thinks his truck is way cooler than it is. LED underglow. Look guys, as we said before, we're not completely opposed to pimping out your ride with LED. It can be pretty cool if done right. Unfortunately, this dude doesn't seem to know what the right way is, as we can certainly tell him that it isn't though. That is way too much LED for your truck. It looks like someone should open up a tanning shop underneath a chassis, or even worse, that the owner's running a crime lab outside of the back of the truck. If your LED is almost as bright as the street lights around you, then you probably have gone a little bit too far. There's another newer problem too, for those dudes who like to rock LED. Some local police departments are outlawing it, saying it causes distracted drivers. Well guys, those are the 9 worst car mods only a truck racer would love. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you like what you see at the channel, subscribe and put post notifications on. You could also follow the channel on Instagram at Modern Muscle YT. I'm Jeff for Modern Muscle, and I'll see ya next time.